And I often mention focusing on the breath. And the first time that was said to me, I didn't understand the importance of it. And what I've become aware of with the breath and the focusing on the breath is that it is alive and it will teach you. We've thought for so long, I think, with our minds on ourselves, me, my life, my pets, my home, my this, my that. And we think of consciousness as being aware of our thinking and hopefully touching into awareness. Because maybe if I were aware, my life would be better. My life again. And this is the identification with such a small aspect of us. Not an unworthy aspect, because your thoughts, your life, what your experiences are important. We're here to live. But to live a life that is not so identified with thinking, competition, struggles. To live a life as awareness itself. So let's expand our thinking of awareness, because so many times we've summed it up to be our thoughts, our suffering, our finances, and those are aspects that we deal with. But consciousness itself is so much more, that we could be living a life interconnected with life around us. And one of the big things that gets in our way is fear. Fear of the weather, fear of a circumstance, fear of suffering, fear of animals, fear of things. But there is so much more involved in consciousness. So let's start with the breath as a conscious interaction. This living breath, because nothing can feed you that doesn't have life itself. And we haven't thought of the breath as a living, intelligent entity, function. And it is. It is life itself in one of the first interactions that we get. And it is acceptance embodied. Think about that. As you breathe in, it's accepting you completely. No changes needed. No rejection of you. It fills your lungs, but with intelligence and awareness, knowing exactly how to merge with your bloodstream and your heartbeat. And there's no thought involved. Now, how can something so incredible function without thought? And that's what breath is here to teach you as well. That you can function without thinking. And it merges in acceptance and intelligence and without thinking. Then let us have gratitude for this interaction. Let us breathe in with the feeling of gratitude at the same time. Let's take another breath and hold the space of gratitude as the function of breathing accepts us unconditionally and merges with our bodies. And it reflects that so that we too can accept ourselves unconditionally as we merge with our body. Because just like breath, we are consciousness. We're a function. We're more than our daily struggles, our identification. See, the breath doesn't go and identify that it is us, or says, well, I'm Dina's breath, or I'm XYZ's breath. You can't breathe me because I was for her. It doesn't get in to such conversation. This instant acceptance, instant support, and intelligence. And that's what you are as well. You're the embodiment of acceptance, support, intelligence as a part of life, and therefore you are supported by life. This planet is a large, conscious function that is able to support life in so many ways that we cannot even imagine. This function of life supports us with breath and food and minerals and water. The food grows naturally, or it can be tended. The water is freely available. And isn't it interesting that water also merges with our body as consciousness? It doesn't reject us. It moves in and merges with us. That the minerals we need through the plants and food that we have merge with our bodies. At all times, life is saying, accept, merge, and without thinking, move as intelligence that you are. And we're taking a moment to let that settle in, to accept, merge, and connect, and function as intelligence. And in that space, what is there to fear when the very planet that you walk on hums that to you constantly in her sound, the frequency of this planet constantly humming love and support. And you hear it as a vibration to your body, but it also speaks through the birds and the wind. You are supported. You are safe. Function as intelligence and conscious awareness. Life does not take time to try to say this in a thought form, for it would be so convoluted. It whispers it with feeling and connection and formlessness. Every breath, accepting, merging, conscious intelligence, for the exact function for your body to perform. The water merging, moving toxins, the minerals, the sun, and all of this shared equally to every kind of being on this planet. Plant life, rock, water, animal, human. And not at a thinking level, at a harmonic resonance and frequency of balance. Allow your bodies to show you the balance they are in. Feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. Feel the pulse of your blood through your body. Feel the ease of connection to the breath. Notice the simplicity and the calm. It is from this space that we are held and supported on this planet in perfect balance, with all of conscious functioning. And it is timed with this solar system and the movement of all the planets and the energy of the sun. And yet we feel alone sometimes. And yet we are afraid that we're not enough. And yet you are a harmonic frequency, intimately timed and involved with the function of this solar system. And beyond the solar system to vaster space, you are still there, still functioning, still vibrating as a frequency, completely belonging, completely belonging, interconnected, necessary, quietly safe. And whether the space you're in, that you are, the space that you are, has your focus, because it is your choice to function and focus on function, which naturally is your clarity. You don't have to figure out how not to float off the planet. You don't have to figure out how water and light and breath holds you, accepts you. It's all natural functioning. So then what you choose to engage in can work with your conscious mental functioning. And how important this life is, that if your space, intricately woven into not only your body, but woven as sound and space and light throughout this solar system, woven into the atmosphere of this planet, woven into one another's lives, woven into a particular body, not to be stressed, unaccepted, alone, or rejected, but to reflect the frequency that you are, which is love, expressed in over 8 billion ways. 8 billion ways of acceptance. 8 billion ways of connection. 8 billion ways of profound intelligence beyond thinking. There is so much more to the being that you are. There's so much more support than you ever imagined. This planet wants you to thrive and go beyond the concept of my life, my suffering. And either way, you will be accepted, connected, never alone, and supported wherever how you wish to use the intelligence that you are. Allow yourself to remove focus from thinking, concerns, and worries, and experience the breadth of the intelligence that you are, that is beyond the mind's ability to understand, but not beyond yours. As a functioning being, completely supported by this earth, by this atmosphere, and by the vast space that you also are. And that's what breath and life can teach you. And in this deep and connected space, have gratitude for the presence of your own being. Allow this quiet moment as source intelligence to hold you and to relate to your own mind, functions, capabilities, to your conscious awareness. Not thinking of what they might be, but resting in the space that they are, making room without thinking for those to take residence in your mind. Just resting in the space of this still, quiet presence. And should a thought come, because it craves your attention for its existence, remember that you are the space within which this thought exists and hundreds of other thoughts. You're the space that holds this body that belongs intricately woven with this planet, but which rests in the solar system, kissed by the sun, and wrapped in stillness that is not static but moving, in rhythm and frequency and harmonics that are beyond thinking. Rest in the stillness.